It just broke today. Devonte
Like an hour
Adams,
ago.
an hour ago. Devonte Adams, former Green Bay Packers wide receiver, has now signed with the Los Angeles Raiders, which makes him the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history. He has signed a 5-year, $141.25 million deal.
So hold on. A couple of things about this. The first thing is he actually was traded from the Packers because remember the Packers put the franchise tag on him. Devonte Adams said,
"Oh yeah, so he couldn't go." Yeah,
he says, "I ain't paying on a motherfucking franchise tag." So Green Bay started looking around and they found in the Packers a trade, or they found in the Raiders a trade partner. The Raiders are turning over a first and second round 2022, so this year pick for Devonte Adams, which makes sense. He's arguably, I think, pretty universally everybody's saying it's Cooper Kupp, but he is arguably in that top 2, top 3 conversation for best wide receiver in the league, and earned literally the most money on a wide receiver contract ever in that, which is awesome. And I found out, this is the big kicker, the Packers, despite Aaron Rodgers' ridiculous contract, had enough money to offer the same thing to Devonte Adams. Devonte Adams did not want to be around Aaron no goddamn mo. And so
was there relate? So my question is this to you: was there relationship at the very end of the day like this?
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Yo, essentially, I guarantee you, Aaron said something to fucking Devonte in the goddamn locker room or like over a text message chat, and and then on top of the Green Bay Packers being like, "Here's a franchise tag," Devonte Adams looked at him like,
"Bitch, bet, motherfucker, bet, nigga, bet it, bitch, bet, fuck you, bet."
when it found another team. But this is the big deal. We wanted to spend a little time talking about the NFL because a lot of things have happened. We'll talk about how all our teams are fucking dumpster fires. But
whoa, first of all, I'm okay with my team and some of their picks. Let's not do this.
Hold on, we're gonna get to it because there's a couple different things. So the first thing is, obviously, the AFC West has just become the division of all the divisions. You already had the Kansas City Chiefs. The Broncos last week went and got Russell Wilson and made moves because they were really just a quarterback away. Their defense was still pretty goddamn stellar last year. They were a top 3 defense last year if you go look at the stats. They just, their offense couldn't get anything going because Teddy Bridgewater isn't bad, but he's not elite, you know? And so
I think that's the problem. Like people have to accept that he's a serviceable quarterback. Yeah. You know, and I hate to say that.
Pre-injury, he wasn't. He was actually that guy. And then that knee injury happened, and he's just not been the same. He's been good, but he hasn't been great. So you had that. You have the Chargers, who went and got Khalil Mack from y'all, which now across from Joey Bosa is an insane fucking pass rush.
Well,
and you already had a solid-ass offense.
Well, here's the thing with that. And I think you and I, we discussed this. I don't know if we did it off air or whatnot. My thing with the Khalil Mack thing is this. Yes, it sucks he's leaving Chicago. But if you look at his last 2 seasons, he's been riddled with injury, right?
Sure.
So if you're a new administration, we talked about this on Tuesday. So if you're the new administration coming into the Bears front office in head coach and GM, you're looking at that. And yes, there's a potential his season could be great. Hold on. But if his season could be great, but you want to make sure if you're like, yo, let's get what the best we can get for him now, but just in case this season doesn't pan out the right way.
Right. So what I was going to say is you guys don't have any really strong superstar pass rushers in Chicago. You just had Khalil. Khalil is still Khalil Mack, but he's
Leonard
not.
Floyd, Roquan Smith, those are great pass rushers.
Yes, but they're not Pro Bowlers.
Okay.
They're not Pro Bowl caliber. My point is, yes, Khalil has taken that step back, so he maybe can't be the 1A on the pass rush. But when you go and pair him with someone like Joey Bosa, are you kidding me? Then Bosa is the main threat you're worried about, and the minute you slack, Khalil Mack is on your ass. Like, that's the thing. I just don't think he can do it solo dolo anymore.
Not Floyd. I'm sorry, not Leonard Floyd. Excuse me. I'm sorry. My brain is slipping. I've been drinking. Anyway, but here's my thing with that. You're talking, so the average defensive front is 3 men, right? The average defensive front is 3 men. 5 men on an offensive line. 5. So if you put 2, if the play calls for you to put 2 on 1, then you still have the other 2, because I'll always leave the center as the wild card, right? You still have the other 2 to deal with the other one. So to say that, yes, now the Chargers look dope with Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, I won't disagree with that at all.
They were a solid defense. You just added a big pass rushing threat to complement Joey Bosa, and that offense is good. They just could be suspect at times because, like Herbert, if you go and look at his numbers, he actually had, I want to say, like the second most pass yards out of everybody and whatnot. And you still have those big time target receivers. So that whole division, because you've got the Chargers, and then the last team I didn't mention. I mentioned the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Chargers, and now the Raiders. Derek Carr, I know everybody's shitting on Derek Carr, but Derek Carr is actually pretty goddamn good. And then you just gave him Devonte Adams. He's got Renfro now, who's going to be able to fuck people up in the slot. And their defense is pretty decent too. And if they can make some upgrades, that's the division to watch now. The way it used to be like the AFC West, when you would watch the Steelers and the Ravens and the Bengals, and that's it. And like watch those 3.
Derek Carr needed somebody to replace Henry Ruggs III. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
After Ruggs unfortunately killed that person, he needed somebody to replace that receiver. And Devonte Adams is more than qualified.
Absolutely. So you have that. So some of the other big moves, the Rams just signed Allen Robinson. So from the Bears, obviously y'all let him go. Mm-hmm. So then part of that, which is going to be super interesting, you already had Cooper Kupp, the best receiver in the league. Mm-hmm. You had
Tyler Higbee.
You have Higbee, but you have Woods coming off of that knee injury. So we'll see what happens there. OBJ is injured. He probably won't play this season, but odds are he probably disappears. But if you, let's say for some bizarre reason, you sign him to a veteran minimum. So you've got fucking Cooper Kupp, Allen Robinson, Robert Woods, Higbee. Is that the greatest wide receiving core of all time? If that's the case,
streamlabs.com/blerds/10 Streamlabs. Because when you put it out, when you say it like that, because my brain is like, so OBJ's gone, so that's why you bring in Allen Robinson. Because it's pretty much assumed that this was a 1 year. If you get the chip, you get it. You don't, you don't. Either way it goes, the unfortunate knee injury for OBJ happens in the Super Bowl, but he still got his ring. He got his touchdown in the Super Bowl. Elevates his value no matter what.
I agree. So real quick, we'll kind of wrap up the NFL talk. Some of the other big things that have happened that we've heard, obviously, fucking Baker Mayfield put out his emotional ass fucking tweet or Instagram post and then demanded a trade, and the Browns said, "Suck my dick." So
bitch, you ain't going nowhere.
You ain't going nowhere.
Before we go further, shouts out to our homie, our little bro, Matt Thomas. Now, Matt Thomas spent all...
My whole AirPod fell out because it was laughing, my nigga. My AirPod said, "Nigga."
So we are all in the group chat. Matt Thomas spent all of an hour and a half yesterday trying to validate not only the Cleveland Browns, but the city of Cleveland. Nigga, I told this nigga, I said, Cleveland is if Haiti was a metropolitan city, nigga. This nigga trying to be like, we gonna be okay. We gonna be okay. No, nigga, you're not. No, nigga, you're not.
So Cleveland's dealing with that stuff. Obviously they got Coop a little while ago, but they cut Jarvis Landry.
This nigga gonna be in our group chat later on tonight. Bad as hell.
But they cut Jarvis Landry, so he's a big free agent.
Which is again, nigga, you get rid of Jarvis Landry.
Yeah, his production's gone down, but I would tell you something. It's not because it's Jarvis Landry. It's because Baker Mayfield ain't the guy. You had the Bills who cut Cole Beasley, that anti-vax fuck who I used to root for.
But picked up motherfucking Von Miller, nigga.
And picked up Von Miller, which is huge. Oh, Jesus. Okay, hold on.
Huh?
Just give me a second. Oh, it's okay. Okay. Thank you so much to Jimmy Nails for dropping 5 gifted subs, my brother. Appreciate it. As of Jimmy. So you had the Bills who picked up Von Miller, who, remember, the Bills lost to Cincinnati. Was it Cincinnati or Kansas City? I can't remember.
The Bills lost to
Kansas City. They lost to Kansas City. They lost to Kansas City in OT because remember, it was the duel of Josh. I remember now, Josh Allen versus Mahomes. You lost in like the last 13 seconds because you let Patrick Mahomes embarrass your ass right at the end and take it to OT. So now all of a sudden, if you have Von Miller, who already proved his mettle for Los Angeles, that he's still got the sauce. You know what I'm saying? Like, they look amazing now. Like, they were already ridiculous, and now they look even more amazing. You have, obviously, we talked about Tom Brady earlier and how he unretired very quickly.
But by the way, I want to say this, since I'm glad you finally mentioned him because I was going to bring him up. He's the reason all of this is happening the way it is.
Sort of. I'll tell you why.
You and I talked about this.
The worst-kept secret is that Tom Brady's retirement was actually a push for him to go play for the Niners. There have been a number of reports that have come out from sports reporters that Brady did go knock on that door, and the Niners were like, we good. For the second time in like 3 years, they were like, nah, we good, dog. Which is wild because if the GOAT wants to play for you, but I also understand in the sense that if you're trying to specifically do something, you know what I mean? You may not want to essentially blow it up in order to get there.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing with that statement. Tom Brady has set the standard for himself where you really don't have, do you have to blow up a team and give up so much? And I say this now, I might be wrong. If I am, please let me know. But I say this because Tom Brady, who has not taken one of these dumbass maxed out contracts throughout any of his career to help build out his team.
I agree.
I understand his on the field value. I understand that. Contractual value is another thing, though. You get what I'm saying? Because contractually,
I'll tell you why. The first time I think was stupid. But the second time, let me tell you why it makes sense. Bruce Arians and the Buccaneers have made it very clear, we ain't trading Brady. It's not going to happen. So the only way that you're going to potentially do that is you're going to have to leverage the farm. They may ask for Deebo Samuel and fucking the racist Bosa. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, those are your two young pieces that make your offense and your defense. Deebo Samuel was doing unholy things to defenses. And as much as I hate that racist fuck, Nick Bosa is good at his job. So, like, you would literally have to leverage the farm. You'd probably have to give up, like, a superstar or two plus some picks. And who's trying to do that for Tom Brady, who's still playing at an elite level, still playing an MVP level?
Okay, for how long? I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. For how long? Because I think that's the issue, though, any team has run into. That when you had – now, granted, yes, we know the Niners would have had to wait. He'd have had to stay out the entire year. He would have, in order for him to be able to just sign with the Niners, he would have had to retire a full NFL season, then come back.
Or be traded. It's one or the other. Traded. Be traded or wait the year.
And I'm going back to the statement. People have said, man, is Brady at his level? Is Brady at this level? And is he worth and blah, blah, blah. Remember, all that was stated before going to Tampa Bay. All of that.
Where I disagree about the idea that Brady was the linchpin that did this, you clearly see the behind the scenes were trying to happen with him getting over to San Francisco. I think the first major
he wanted to play at home. I mean,
well, right.
Let's just be real.
That's his childhood team. That's his childhood team. But I'll tell you, the first domino that set all this shit on fire was 1,000% Russell Wilson. Let's be real about that. You took out arguably the best quarterback in the West. I still think he's better than Matt Stafford. I know Stafford just won, but Stafford has a comparable team right now. You know what I'm saying? So you take arguably the best quarterback out of the NFC West that officially dissolves the Seattle Seahawks in that Legion of Boom era that went there. You now started an arms race in the AFC West where all of a sudden everything was like, nigga, we got to do something. We got to fucking do something. And remember, Russell happens first. And then 2 seconds later, Brady goes, man, fuck retiring, bro. I'm back. But that's just because he was behind the scenes trying to get his ass over to San Francisco.
Yeah.
No. I understand that Wilson happened after Brady retired. I'm saying what we're talking about is Brady coming back.
That's the
one that Jay's talking about. Jay is talking about all of this happens because Brady comes back. Saying that
you get
Wilson
Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin resigns. Remember, free agent. He can go where he wants. Gronkowski is still up in the air because Gronkowski's played all his seasons with Brady. And you've got so many different things. Like, it's like, how do we move pieces around?
Yeah.
Are you basically, if you're Green Bay, for lack of better words, are you automatically acquiescing the NFC acquiescing? Yes, that's how you say it.
No, I know, but for half a second,
I know I had to catch it. I had to catch it.
Your left kitty, bro.
Are you acquiescing the NFC to Tom Brady and the Buccaneers?
That's true. That's true, man. Well, either way, y'all. Obviously, you've been talking with us and letting us know what you think. If you're watching this on the clips part over on YouTube, tell us in the comments, what do you think about all the NFL moves? And to be honest with you, the last piece we're waiting for is Deshaun Watson, if he ends up in Atlanta or New Orleans, because he's made it clear that those are the last two teams in contention. So what do y'all think? Let us know in those comments. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next story.
Blerds in the Hood every Tuesday and Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. All full episodes exclusively available on Twitch, www.twitch.tv/BLERDS, the letter NTHEHOOD. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe.